I'm a little bit worried about today because having looked at the fixtures and having looked at the results, and I'm talking about the Everton game and, of course, the game Wolves played Liverpool, didn't they? A point may well be enough. And that worries me because I never think a point is enough. And I don't want a point. I want all of them, all the points, all three. I'll take 4 if they're on offer. But if I think a point is enough, then David Moyes certainly does. And the trouble is when David Moyes thinks a point's enough, he doesn't go for it, does he? And when he doesn't go for it, he rarely sort of ends up with much, really. I sort of understand it. They're a bogey team. I was listening to David Moyes' press conference and he was saying, well, they're not just a bogey team for me. He got quite spiky about it. Everybody struggles with Brighton. Okay, they probably have this season, but it wasn't always that, even when they'd just been promoted and so on and so forth. When Graham Potter came in, certainly. He struggled against them, didn't he? So it's not just now when it's in vogue to say, oh, Brighton are quite good. They really are our bogey team, and I think we do worse than anyone else against them. So I hope he doesn't just play for the draw, but a draw, the reason I'm saying that, Arsenal-Everton, 4-0, that's some serious goal difference as well. Wolves, that just drags Wolves back down into it. So basically, if we win today, I think it could transform our season. I really do. Because you look at the other fixtures, and yes, all right, it's game of football, anything can happen. Chelsea Leeds, ordinarily, I mean, you would just pick Chelsea on this one, wouldn't you? But you just don't know what's going to happen with Graham Potter. He is under so much pressure. You could see Leeds winning. But let's be honest, they possibly won't. So if they don't, that's a good thing for us as well, because they'd had a little bit of a resurgence. You've got Arsenal, Bournemouth. You have to fancy Arsenal to beat Bournemouth. You just do, particularly at the Emirates. And then you obviously got our game. Wolves play Tottenham. Not great for them, really. And look, I mean, I was up there. Last away game I went to was Wolves against West Ham. They weren't brilliant, but they beat us. You would imagine Tottenham have got enough to beat Wolves. And then, of course, you've got Southampton. You've got Leicester. Well, they can't both win, can they? So, something's got to go for us. And then you've got Nottingham Forest, Everton. Really interesting, that one. That's on Sunday, so we're not even, we can hopefully sit back with our 3 points, or 4 points, shall we say, in the bag. David Moyes sits back with his point in the bag, and they wouldn't look too bad. So I can understand David Moyes looking at this thinking, hold on, it wouldn't be. But, what a chance to actually grasp the nettle on this one, to actually push up and to actually look and think, well, hold on a second. We're on 23 points. Leicester and Wolves are both on 24. They're catchable. Forest are on 25. Everyone's got tricky games. That bottom 3 have all got very losable games. They're on, what are they on? They're on 21 points, 18, 21, 21 points respectively there. There's a really good opportunity for us to move away. Not clear, but away. I'm quite, I was going to say I'm positive. They could beat us. They could give us a right thumping, really, because they've done it so many times before, Brighton. But I think there is a little bit of a spring in our step. There is going to be a little bit of confidence with us at the moment. And that's bloody good. It's interesting to listen to David Moyes speak. I'd be interested to know what he does in defence. We hope we don't see another performance like that from a Gerd again. And I suspect we won't. I mean, that really was. That's going to be motivational, isn't it? He's not going to be happy with how he played. What's David Moyes going to do? He's been talking about Zuma. It's just, you can't believe a word he says, David Moyes. He tries to send out so many different signals. And I used to think, oh, you're kidding, Moyes. You never change your team and you never change your formation. So what's the point in putting these snippets of information out there into the press conference? But I've got to say, actually, he has changed formation a bit recently, and he does change his team sometimes. So look, maybe it works. Who knows? The suggestion from Moisey Baby. I don't know why I called him Moisey Baby. Imagine that. Someone got an absolute rollick in the press conference called him Moisey. So he called him Moisey Baby. That'd be it. Be done, wouldn't he, really? Anyway, when he was talking in the press conference, Few words to say about Cornet, but nothing you could hang your hat on, if you know what I mean. Same with Zuma as well. I mean, let's be fair. Ogbonna's done absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with Ogbonna at all. My only concern with Ogbonna would be, because I thought he was good against Man U. My only concern would be he's played so many games. He's played at the weekend as well. So I guess Moyes or Moisey Baby, depending on what you want to call him, is going to be... He's going to have a little shift around somewhere along the line, isn't he? I don't know. Maybe just rested him. Maybe that was it. Maybe the Man United game was the training match. And if Bowen didn't have a knock, he would have played, and then that all would have been fine as well. So maybe that's it. Maybe that is the team. And if so, then fine. You know, don't mind that at all. You've got to do ice baths and warm downs and physios rooms and no training. Fine. As long as you've got to be tactically on it, though. And I think that's more important than anything else. And it's a weird one. It happens occasionally, doesn't it? That the fixtures of everybody else are just as interesting as yours. There's normally be nothing more interesting than a West Ham game at the weekend. But it's hard. Let me just click those matches back up again. It's hard not to... What's the 3 o'clock? Wolves and Tottenham. You can be looking at that, aren't we? Even though we're playing at the same time. 3 o'clock kickoff as well. Arsenal and Bournemouth. And 3 o'clock kickoff Leeds and Chelsea. Be interesting to see what happens with Aston Villa. I mean, I know there's a few people who have thought Aston Villa were going to drop down into it. I was never been quite so sure of that myself. You know, I think they could easily pull them. One win for Crystal Palace, and they could pull themselves out of it. Sorry, did I say Aston Villa? I meant Crystal Palace. People are thinking Crystal Palace can drop down. They're playing Aston Villa. That's going to be an interesting one. But I do think particularly Bournemouth game, the Wolves game, and of course the Leeds game. Man City, Arsenal don't really bother us at all, does it? Moyes had a lot to say about Danny Ings. Very much said he's in the autumn of his career, but said he got a bit more nous. That was the word he used. Nous. Get a bit more nous as you get older in playing terms. At least he seemed to think. We've said about Antonio. Didn't have a great game. Looked okay when he went wide though. So I've not given up all prospects of Antonio featuring on the wing. Well, I would play him on the wing on occasion. I wouldn't start him. I wouldn't start him ahead of Ben Rama. I wouldn't start him ahead of Bowen. But I wouldn't mind him coming off the bench on the wing. I think it gives us quite a nice option. I'm just not sure David Moyes will do it. I tell you what I'd love to look. I'd love to see a West Ham win. Love to see that. I'm not bothered about Paqueta anymore. He looks like he's finding form. He looks settled. He looks fine. He looks like he's getting better with every game. The thing that I'd really like to see more than anything, I think, is Scamacca coming on and scoring and looking lively, looking interested, looking motivated. I'd love to see him smile. That would be great. Just to look like he was enjoying himself. I know not everybody does, and some people carry a little bit, more of a dour demeanour. Let's put it that way. But I'd like to see it. I think it'd be really healthy for West Ham for the remainder of the season to see Scamacca with his pecker up. Do you know what I mean? It's having a little spring in his step there. I think that would be really good. So hopefully we can do that. Hopefully Gerd's a bit better. Not worried about the midfield at all. It seems to be functioning well. Rice and Paqueta. And Souček's doing okay in there. He really is. I think he's doing all right. Look, he's never going to be Ronaldinho. But effective in his own way, that's fine. I do think, I'll say this now, I think there's an important goal to come from Souček between now and the end of the season. He's playing up front. Oh, not he's playing up front, but he's closer to the front, isn't he? And I think that's part of Danny Ings. If Souček's got licence to get close to Danny Ings, and then Bowen and Ben Rama are getting close, then I guess Danny Ings isn't really playing up on his own, is he, in that sense? So that's going to be interesting. The support there, that's important. Anyway, I'm getting a bit croaky now. Excuse me. I'm going to go and clear my throat. Look forward to the game. I'm actually going to the game today, so by the time you watch this, I'll either be on my way or sat in my seat as it is now. So I'll get to witness firsthand how good or bad we are. It's a good away day, actually. Good away day, Brighton. So looking forward to that. Hopefully it should be a good laugh. Hopefully it'll be enjoyable. And hopefully I'll be doing a video from outside the stadium afterwards, telling you what a great game it's been. And there you go. Hopefully, fingers crossed, 3 points. Even though a point will be good enough. Moisey, Let's go for all three.